The steps to solve a proportion word problem are: first, assign a variable to the unknown value. Second, write the proportion. Make sure your matching units line up horizontally. Next, cross multiply. Then divide both sides by the coefficient of the variable. Finally, check your solution and write the final answer with the correct units. If a jogger runs 2 miles and burns 185 calories, how many calories would the jogger burn running 5 miles? Let's start by setting up the proportion. We have 2 miles will burn 185 calories. And we'll set that equal to 5 miles. And the denominator of this one, we don't know. That's what we're looking for, so we give it the variable x. Once we have the proportion, we can cross multiply. 2 times x is 2x, and we get 185 times 5. (185) times 5 is 925. 2x equals 925. Now we divide by the coefficient on x. Whatever we do to the left, we need to do the same thing on the right side. So x is equal to 925 divided by 2. This gives us 462.5, and make sure we include the units. In this case, that x is in the denominator, which is representing calories. So if this jogger runs 5 miles, they will burn 462.5 calories. In part B, the ratio of cost of a tennis racket to tennis balls is 18:1. If a can of tennis balls costs $5.35, what is the cost of the racket? So we have racket to tennis balls. The ratio is racket to tennis balls. So I'm going to have rackets in the numerator and tennis balls in the bottom. And that ratio is 18:1. We'll set that equal to another ratio. The cost of the tennis balls is $5.35. Notice that on the left, I have tennis balls in the denominator. So on the right, I need to have the tennis balls in the denominator. $5.35. The unknown is the numerator, the cost of the racket. Notice we have a proportion. We can cross multiply. 18 times 5.35. That is equal to 1 times x, or just x. Now in the calculator, we have 18 times 5.35, and we get 96.3 as our value for x. Keep in mind this is talking about cost, so we need to have 2 decimals. $96.30. We'll add a 0 after the 3 to make it look like change or cents. In example C, a recipe calls for 2.5 cups of flour to make 2 dozen cookies. How many cups of flour would be needed to bake 15 dozen cookies? So let's use the ratio of flour to cookies. In the numerator, we're told that 2.5 cups will make 2 dozen cookies. Let's set that equal to another ratio with the same units. It's asking for how many cups of flour. So we don't know the numerator. We'll make it x. And the denominator is 15 dozen cookies. To solve the proportion, we will cross multiply. 2.5, it might be easier to convert that to either a decimal or an improper fraction. I'm going to use an improper fraction. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And we keep the same denominator. So 2.5 we're writing as 5 halves. We multiply that by 15. That's going to be set equal to 2 times x. Now we can multiply 5 divided by 2 times 15. This gives us 37.5, which is equal to 2x. Now we need to divide both sides by the coefficient on x, which is 2. 37.5 divided by 2 is 18.75. And that's our value for x, the unknown. Recognize the units in this case. We're talking about flour, amount of flour, and the amount of flour is cups. So we have 18 and 75 hundredths cups. Or if we wanted to convert that to a mixed number, that would be 18 and 3/4 cups of flour. And in example D, a meteorologist reports that the ratio of snowfall in January to total snowfall during the average winter is 2 to 5. So January to the total is 2 to 5. If 34 inches have fallen in January, find the predicted snowfall for the entire winter. So we don't know the total. We'll make that x. We have a proportion we can cross multiply. 2 times x is equal to 5 times 34. 5 times 34 is 170. Divide both sides by 2. And let's see what we get. 170 divided by 2 is 85. And keep in mind we want to use the units. In this case, we're talking about total amount of snow, which they are measuring in inches. So we have 85 inches total for the winter.